Love yourself first. The key to building lasting relationships. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale slowly and exhale. Welcome. Welcome to a space of quiet reflection, a moment just for you. This is not just another book about relationships. This is an invitation to return home, to yourself. I'm so glad you're here, listening to Love Yourself First. The key to building lasting relationships. Whether you're seeking a deeper connection with a partner, hoping to mend a friendship, or simply feeling a quiet yearning for more authentic relationships in your life, you've come to the right place. But we are going to start this journey in a perhaps surprising location. Not out there in the world of others, but right here, within the landscape of your own heart. For so long, we've been sold a story. A beautiful, compelling, and ultimately misleading story. That love, fulfillment, and wholeness are found in another person. We scan the horizon for our missing piece, believing that when we find the right person, the puzzle of our life will finally be complete. Our anxieties will calm. Our insecurities will vanish. We will feel, at last, enough. But what happens when we build a house on a foundation that isn't our own? It may stand for a while, but eventually the cracks begin to show. We may find ourselves clinging, needing, demanding, or shrinking to fit a mold that was never meant for us. The relationship, instead of being a source of joy, becomes a source of our deepest fear, the fear of losing the very thing we believe makes us whole. There is another way, a softer, truer, more resilient way. It begins with a simple, revolutionary act, turning the love, attention, and compassion we so freely offer to others inward. To love yourself first is not an act of selfishness. It is the foundation of all generosity. You cannot draw water from an empty well, cannot offer a gift you do not possess. In this audiobook, we will gently dismantle the myths that have held you back. We will explore, with kindness, the patterns that may have kept you stuck. And chapter by chapter, we will rebuild not from a place of lack, but from a place of inherent worthiness. We will talk about the quiet language of self-respect and how it teaches others how to treat you. We will discover how your own inner peace becomes the calm center that can weather any relational storm. We will learn that boundaries are not walls, but the gates through which only genuine love can enter. This is your journey. Move at your own pace. Pause when you need to. Let the words settle. There's no test at the end. Only the possibility of a more peaceful, connected, and loving life, starting with the relationship you have with yourself. Now, get comfortable. Let go of any expectation. And allow us to begin with the most important chapter of all, your own story. Chapter 1. The Empty Vessel. Why seeking love from others first never works. Let's begin with a metaphor. Imagine you are a vessel, a beautiful, unique cup. Now imagine this cup has a small crack, or perhaps many tiny cracks, at its base. These cracks represent the unhealed parts of us, old wounds, beliefs that we are not good enough, fears of abandonment, the parts we hide in shadow. For years, maybe a lifetime, you've held this cup out to others. Please, the silent plea goes, fill me, make me feel whole, make me feel valuable, make me happy. And when someone pours their love, their attention, their validation into you, it feels wonderful. For a moment, but because of those cracks, the love doesn't stay. It slowly, inevitably drains away. And soon, the emptiness returns. The fear returns. And you are left, once again, holding out your cup. searching for the next person who can provide you with what feels like life itself, their approval, their presence, their love. This is the exhausting cycle of seeking love from the outside in. We become love beggars, not love dwellers. Our sense of security, our mood, our entire sense of self-worth becomes tied to another person's actions, words, and presence. We become experts in reading their face for signs of disapproval, their tone for hints of cooling affection. We contort ourselves. We people please. We silence our needs. All in a desperate bid to keep the life-giving love flowing into our cracked vessel. Here's the fundamental painful truth. No amount of external love can permanently seal an internal leak. A partner as devotion cannot convince you that you are worthy of devotion if you don't believe it yourself. A friend's loyalty cannot heal a core fear of abandonment planted long ago. Compliments wash over you like water off a duck's back if your inner critic is shouting louder. You will constantly need more, need reassurance, need proof, because the core belief I am not enough on my own remains untouched. This dynamic places a terrible, unfair burden on our relationships. We are asking our partners, our friends, to do the impossible, to be our source, our savior, our therapist, and our mirror of worth, all in one. No human being can sustain that role. This leads to resentment, to burnout, and ultimately to the very rejection we feared most. So the first step is not to find a better person to fill your cup. The first step is to, with great tenderness, turn your attention to the cup itself. To see the cracks not as marks of shame but as guides, showing you where healing is needed. To understand that the love that will truly, lastingly fill you must first come from your own hands. Loving yourself first means becoming your own primary source. It means learning to hold yourself, comfort yourself, validate yourself, and celebrate yourself. When you do this, a miraculous shift occurs. You are no longer an empty vessel holding itself out to the world. You become a spring, a source of love that flows from within. And then, when you connect with another person, you are not two empty cups clinking together in desperation. You are two overflowing springs, meeting and mingling, sharing from your abundance. The connection is no longer about need, but about choice, about celebration, about mutual enhancement. This is the secret. The love you have been seeking from everyone else was always meant to be found within you first. The rest, the beautiful, lasting relationships, are not the source, but the reflection. Chapter 2. The Language of Self-Respect. How you teach others to treat you. Now that we've understood the futility of the empty vessel, let's explore what it looks like to be a spring. It begins with a concept that is often misunderstood: self-respect. Self-respect is not arrogance. It is not walking around with a puffed chest, declaring your superiority. Self-respect is a quiet inner knowing. It is the deep, unwavering recognition of your own inherent dignity and worth. And this knowing speaks. It communicates in a silent language that the world around you learned to understand, word by word, action by action. Think of it this way. You are constantly broadcasting a signal about what you believe you deserve. This signal is sent not through your words, but through your boundaries, your tolerances, your priorities, and what you are willing to accept or not accept in your life. If you believe deep down that your needs are an inconvenience, your signal says, "My needs don't matter." People will learn to overlook them. If you believe you must earn love through constant sacrifice, your signal says, I am here to serve your needs before my own. People will learn to expect it. If you fear conflict more than you value your own peace, your signal says, you can cross my lines. I won't protect them. People will learn where those lines are by crossing them. Conversely, when you cultivate self-respect, your signal changes. It says, my time is valuable, and you protect it. My feelings are valid, and you express them calmly. My body and spirit deserve care, and you prioritize it. My no is a complete sentence, and you honor it. This is how you teach people how to treat you. Not with lectures, not with ultimatums, but with consistent, compassionate action rooted in self-regard. When you cancel a plan because you are exhausted and need rest, you teach others that your well-being is a priority. When you calmly state that a certain joke hurt your feelings, you teach others that your emotional world is worthy of respect. When you walk away from a dynamic that consistently drains you, you teach the world and, most importantly, yourself, that you will not abandon yourself for the sake of connection. This language is hardest to speak with those closest to us, where patterns are ingrained. Changing your signal will cause static. People who are used to the old frequency may protest, may guilt trip, may act confused. This is not because they are bad people. It is because any system resists change. Stay steady. Your consistent, respectful actions are your truest voice. Loving yourself first means becoming the guardian of your own dignity. It means showing up for yourself with the same loyalty you would show a dearest friend. And in doing so, you perform a great service for your relationships. You filter out those who only sought an empty vessel to fill on their terms. And you attract, with a magnetic clarity, those who recognize and resonate with the strong, clear signal of a person who knows their own worth. You attract people who speak the same language, the language of mutual respect. Chapter 3: The Unshakable Core. Finding peace within the storm of relationships. By their very nature, are dynamic. They are a dance between two separate whole individuals. There will be moments of sublime harmony, and there will be moments of discord. There will be misunderstandings, different needs, external stresses, and the inevitable friction of two lives intertwining. When your sense of peace is entirely dependent on the state of the relationship, every disagreement feels like an earthquake. Every period of quiet feels like abandonment. Every external stress that affects your partner becomes your own personal storm. You are, as they say, it's tossed by the waves. Loving yourself first is the practice of building an unshakable core and inner sanctuary of peace that remains. Regardless of the weather outside, this core is not cold or detached, it is deeply calm. It is the part of you that can observe a conflict without becoming the conflict. It is the part of you that can feel hurt or anger without letting those emotions define your entire being or dictate reactive behavior. How do you build this? You build it through the daily private practice of returning to yourself. It is the 5 minutes of morning silence before you check your phone. It is the walk in nature where you feel the ground beneath your feet and remember you are part of something vast. It is the journaling session where you pour out your fears and then offer yourself the compassionate advice you'd give a friend. It is the hobby that absorbs you completely, reminding you of your own capabilities and joys outside of any relationship. It is the meditation practice that teaches you to watch your thoughts and feelings come and go, like clouds in the sky, without getting lost in the storm. This inner sanctuary becomes your home base. From this place of centeredness, You can engage in your relationships from a position of strength, not desperation. When a disagreement arises, you can step into it from your core of peace. This allows you to listen, not to defend yourself, but to understand. It allows you to speak, not from a wounded ego, but from a clear heart. You can say, "I am feeling hurt by this," without the hidden subtext of, "and therefore you are a terrible person and I am ruined." Your peace becomes a gift you bring to the relationship. It de-escalates tension. It provides space for solutions to emerge. It means that when your partner is having a bad day, you can be a compassionate harbor for them without their bad day having to become yours. You can offer support from your fullness, not from a depleted need to fix them in order to restore your own peace. This unshakable core is the bedrock of lasting love. It means you are choosing to be with someone not because you need their presence to feel okay, but because their presence adds joy to the okayness you already cultivated within yourself. The relationship is no longer a life raft. It is a beautiful shared voyage between two captains, each secure in their own ability to navigate the seas. Chapter 4. Boundaries. The bridges to authentic intimacy. Not the walls against it. This may be the most important chapter. For the word boundary has been so misunderstood. We often think of them as walls, as keep-out signs, as the things we put up when we are angry or hurt. We fear they will create distance, that they are the opposite of love and closeness. Let me offer you a new vision. Imagine instead of a wall, a beautiful, graceful bridge. A bridge has two essential features. It connects to separate places, and it has strong, clear railings. Those railings are the boundaries. They don't prevent the connection. They make the connection safe, possible, and sustainable. Without railings, crossing the bridge is an act of terror. With them, you can walk across freely, enjoying the view, trusting you won't fall. Loving yourself first is the act of building your railings. Boundary is not an attempt to control another person's behavior. It is a clear statement about what you will do to protect your own peace, respect, and well-being. It is an act of self-love, communicated with clarity and kindness. I am not available for phone calls after 9 p.m. as I need that time to unwind. I will respond in the morning. This protects your peace. I love discussing many things with you, but I am not comfortable with jokes about my appearance. If that continues, I will need to end the conversation. This protects your dignity. I cannot lend you more money. I am happy to help you brainstorm other solutions. This protects your stability, do you see? The boundary is about your action. It is not, "You must stop calling me late." It is, "I am not available." This removes blame and defensiveness and roots the statement in your own truth. Weak or non-existent boundaries say, "Your needs and feelings are more important than mine." This leads to resentment, a silent killer of intimacy. Clear, compassionate boundaries say, "Both of our needs matter. Here is where I stand to honor mine, so I can show up fully and honestly for you." When you love yourself first, you understand that boundaries are not selfish. They are the framework for sustainable, respectful love. They filter out those who see your railings as an obstacle to their control, and they welcome in those who respect them as the necessary architecture of trust. True intimacy cannot flourish in a swamp of resentment and lost self. It flourishes in the clear, clean space created by mutual respect. It is the freedom to be fully yourself, knowing the other person is doing the same, within a mutually understood and honored frame. By building your bridges with strong railings, you don't keep love out. You create the only kind of space where real, lasting love can safely move in and make a home. Chapter 5: The Magnetic You. How Self-Love Attracts Healthy, Lasting Relationships. We have laid the groundwork. We've mended the vessel, learned the language of self-respect, built an inner sanctuary, and constructed strong, graceful bridges. Now, let's talk about the beautiful, natural consequence of all this inner work: magnetism. When you love yourself first, you undergo a fundamental transformation. You are no longer searching for someone to complete you. You are already fundamentally complete. This changes everything about your energy, your presence, your vibe in the world. You become less needy, more curious. Your interactions are no longer audits. Can this person give me what I need? But explorations. I wonder who this person is. This is incredibly attractive. People feel seen, not used. You become less defensive, more open. When your worth isn't on the line in every conversation, you can be vulnerable. You can share your true thoughts, your silly dreams, your honest fears. This genuine openness invites genuine openness in return. It builds trust at a deep level. You become less tolerant of drama, more committed to peace. You simply don't have the energy for games, manipulation, or constant chaos. You naturally gravitate toward stability and clear communication. This repels unstable, draining dynamics and attracts other mature, peace-seeking individuals. You carry a quiet joy. This is the most magnetic quality of all. When you are at peace with yourself, you emanate a lightness. You laugh more easily. You find wonder in small things. Your presence feels like a relief, a safe harbor. People are drawn to this light not because they want to take it, but because it feels good to be near it. This is the ultimate irony the world doesn't tell you. The less you need a relationship, the better your relationships become. You stop attracting partners who are looking for someone to fix, to control, or to lean on indefinitely. You stop attracting friends who only want an audience or a rescuer. Instead, you become a magnet for whole, healthy individuals. You attract people who are also working on themselves, who value integrity, who communicate honestly, and who are looking for a partner in the true sense of the word, a companion, not a caretaker or a project. And for the relationships already in your life, they transform. As you change, the dynamics are forced to change. Some relationships will healthily evolve, rising to meet the new, more authentic you. Others, sadly, may fall away, not out of malice, but because they were only ever compatible with the version of you that didn't respect herself. This is a painful but necessary release, making space for connections that truly fit. Loving yourself first is the ultimate act of faith. It is the faith that by becoming the most whole, peaceful, and authentic version of yourself, you will not end up alone, but will instead find yourself surrounded by a quality of love you once only dreamed was possible. You become the architect of your relational world, building it from the inside out. And so, dear listener, we come to the end of this part of our journey together. We have walked from the painful understanding of the empty vessel to the liberating vision of the overflowing spring. We have learned that self-respect is a language, peace is an inner sanctuary, and boundaries are the bridges to true intimacy. We have seen how the person who loves themselves first becomes a magnet for a healthier, more lasting love. But remember, this is not a destination. Loving yourself first is a practice, a daily, gentle, sometimes challenging but always rewarding practice. There will be days you forget, days the old cracks seem to ache, days you find yourself holding your cup out to the world, seeking a quick fill. That's okay. That's human. The practice is in noticing, without judgment, and gently guiding yourself home again. Home to your breath, home to your body, home to the quiet truth that you are and always have been enough. Let this audiobook be a companion you can return to. Let these concepts be touchstones when the world gets loud and you feel yourself drifting from your own core. As you move forward, carry this one question in your heart. What would someone who loved themselves deeply do in this situation? Let that question be your guide. In your choices, in your conversations, in the quiet moments you spend with yourself. The key to building lasting relationships was never hidden in another person's pocket. It was always in your own hand, waiting for you to recognize it, to polish it, and to finally use it to unlock the most important door one to your own heart. From that open, loving, and whole heart, every connection you forge will be stronger, brighter, and truer. Thank you for listening. Thank you for having the courage to embark on this most important of journeys. Go gently. Be kind to yourself. And may your life be filled with the lasting, beautiful relationships that begin with and are sustained by the love you so freely give to you. Goodbye for now.